Hi there, this is Elizabeth Vries, and today we're going to try a new type of video where I'm actually giving you a specific reading. I shuffled the cards before you came on, and I put 3 different stones with each card individually. So this is going to be pile number 1, and I'm welcoming you all to my Angelic Mercy page on YouTube, and I'm showing you 3 different cards without giving the meaning, just looking at the color and the feeling of what is on the card. And another card here, another. This is pile number 2, this is pile number 3, and this is pile number 1. Now you may end up choosing your pile according to what it is that you are confronting in your life and what's speaking to your heart. The question in the reading for each of you individually, because you will choose one pile, or you may find as you're watching one pile that you are also drawn to another pile, and you may end up wanting to watch that pile reading also. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. The stone that is going with pile number 1 is a rose quartz surrounded by small turquoises. This is the stone for pile number 1. Sometimes people choose their pile according to their stone rather than the picture. This is pile number 2. It's a quartz crystal with little facets on it, showing different little pointed peaks on it. And this is pile number 3, which has also got a quartz crystal on it with turquoises. I use these stones a lot in my healing work for different parts of the body, and I have 8 of them. Some of them are quite large. For example, this is my stone for the heart chakra. I've made all these plates myself, and they're wonderful for drawing out the force of once I've opened the body with a healing, these will help to draw out whatever is required in that center of the body. So if you'd like to take a look at those and see which pile is speaking to you, what I'm going to then do is set these 2 aside and start with pile number 1. So if you've chosen pile number 1, you will like to watch that video, that part of the video. So here we are. We're putting the card over here. And this question that we're going to have today is, where in my life do I need to develop more courage? This is our question. So putting them back again, you look at those 3 cards. Which one speaks to you about courage? All right, welcome pile number 1. Thank you for being part of the video. We're going to put you over here as the oracle card. In other words, this is the card that relates back to the question of where you need to develop more courage in your life. I'm then going to draw 2 of the Osho cards to put beside it. We'll put out the full spread, and then I will give you a reading on the entire spread, because as you saw in my heart reading, the cards will end up having great significance with each other. So the next 2 cards that are coming out are participation. Thank you. They gave me 2 cards at once. And awareness. So these are the second 2 cards in your deck. The next deck I will take will be the Oracle deck of Goddess Guidance. These are female cards, and these will give a deeper perspective on our question, where in my life do I need to develop more courage? So we'll put 3 Goddess cards. First goddess will be a sign. Commitment. And to be brave. This is starting to speak to me as a group of cards. It's starting to speak to me as a trio of cards all touching each other. And the final cards that I'm going to use is a tarot deck. And this will give the final understanding of where you need to develop more courage. Excuse me if I'm moving them around a bit. That's the first time I've done a reading like this on YouTube, and I'm trying to get the spacing correct. Okay, so we're going to put down 2 tarot cards as our final cards in the reading for those of you in pile number 1. The 9 of Cups. The 10 of Cups. This reading is very, very clear to me what the answer is for those of you that have chosen pile number 1. And the final card that I'm going to choose will be, where is it? Will be an animal card, which are oracles in themselves. Where do I need to develop more courage? I got the opossum. We got that the other day. Okay, so I'm going to walk around and look down at this spread. This is called a tarot spread, or it's your individual reading, pile 1. And the first card that we're starting with is called the Sacred Soul Sister. And if you look at her, she has a lot of, it's almost like she's hanging from a cliff, wanting to let go, but afraid to let go. She's standing back from her life. She's feeling a lot of passion. There's a lot of red around her. So those of you in pile number 1, you're feeling this surge of energy, and it could be a surge of energy to really put yourself out there and participate with the card of participation with awareness. So you say, well, what am I going to participate in? Well, the card that is above this is the sign. And it's a sign from above, so you need to go to your intuition and you need to allow your awareness to come forth, because you are going to receive a sign what it is in life that you need to have more courage about participating in and more awareness about your role in that participation. And once you see the sign, you're being asked to commit. You're being asked to fully commit. So if this is a love affair, something you've been frightened of, to go to a sense of deep intimacy, or this is a place in your life that you want to really put your heart into it and do what your soul is calling you to do, you are going to receive a sign, and you need to commit. You need to be brave in your commitment. You need to be bold in your commitment. So you don't just mildly commit to this participation in the relationship or in the work arena or the spiritual arena. You need to full on commit. But look, pile 1, at what a glorious outcome. You got the card of wish fulfillment. If you are willing to dare this year to be very brave, to let go of being in that comfort zone, to let go and to participate, the outcome, this is the card of full on emotional fulfillment. This is the most, to get these two cards together, what a blessing this is for you. So the only thing that's holding you back, and the opossum here is, to me, a card relating back to this. Don't play dead. Don't do nothing. This card is saying, get in there and participate and be part of it. And if it's a love that comes into your life serendipitously, go for it. If it's a work calling you, or something that you know in your heart, you're doing something maybe mundane and you're staying in your comfort zone, but you've got all this passion rising up in you, and it's saying, please take that step forward and do it now. This is your year for overcoming your fear of participation in some aspect of your life that will give you enormous emotional fulfillment. So I'm very happy for those that chose pile 1. This is a very, very positive, loving relationship feeling that I'm getting from this. But it is going to call upon courage. You have to grab your courage and really live it out. Okay, thank you all, pile number 1, for being here, for participating, for being part of this reading. And I hope you enjoyed your reading. You may have been drawn to some other cards too. If you were, then please stay tuned, because we're going to go on to pile number 2 now. Thank you. Okay. So now we are at pile number 2, the one that had the crystal above it. And we are going to draw 2 Osho cards to give remember, our basic card is, what do we need to develop more courage about in our life? Where do we need to have more bravery? Where do we need to really throw caution to the wind and really allow ourselves to step into life fully? What is it that we're holding back on? So I'm putting two Osho cards in here to give further clarification, pile number 2. And I will, at the end, after I've laid out all the cards, I'm going to give you a reading on why you chose pile number 2. The next 3 cards are coming from the Goddess Guidance cards. This one actually goes this way, sorry. And Goddess cards. Oh, thank you for giving me 2 at once. And the amazing thing is, as we found in our reading with the heart, the pile that you chose is very appropriate for where you are in your life. And as the reading unfolds, pile number 2, you will see what I'm talking about. And the final cards we're going to choose here are tarot cards, 2 tarot cards, and then 1 animal card. Two cards came flying out at once. And the final card will be our animal card. Oops, I'm flying out onto the floor. The swan. All right, so I'm going to come behind and take a look at the whole spread and explain to you, those of you, pile number 2, that what the meaning of this is. Now, to me, there's something about your life that you feel you're very hard on yourself about a part of your life. I'm getting the guilt card and exhaustion. There's a part of your life that I feel you are stepping up to do out of duty, out of guilt, out of perhaps you don't have any choice at this time, but it's made you over the last year of your life very tired, very worn out, very much feeling, I don't have the courage to do anything. I don't have the desire to do anything. I'm just feeling I want to go and lie down, but I have to keep doing this. And a lot of us in 2022, we had a year like that. We had something on our plate that called forth our participation. And we hear it. It's got the very first card is the lover and the beloved. Now that can be someone you love. It could be a parent. It could be a child. It could be your mate. It's somebody that you have been tending to and looking after throughout this last period of your life out of a sense of duty because you felt you had to do it. There was no choice. Like I felt with my child, I had to be there. I had to look after him for a full year. It was what it was. And after it was over, I was really exhausted. So I relate to this. And sometimes even a guilt that we didn't do enough or that we should have done more or we can't bear it or we're tearing out our hair just thinking what it is. But I want to reassure you, pile number 2, it was a really beautiful, generous act what you did in the last year. It was a heartfelt, sacred life you lived out as much as it felt exhausting and I've had enough of this and when is it going to be over? And at some level, you gave a sense of liberation and freedom and confidence to someone that you love very dearly. See how the hand is over the heart? You really touch the heart of another person and you help them to move on in their life with safety, to feel the confidence to move forward. You did that. You gave them that. Your love, your participation in life, your hard work, your sense of choice, because the lover card can also be a choice card. You helped them more than you could ever know. Now it is your time to heal. This is the 3 of Cups, is the card of healing the self. This is your time to heal, to feel to get rid of the exhaustion, to let the exhaustion go by lying down and literally doing very little, nothing. And there's going to be a lot that comes up in your mind. This is the 8 of Cups. You might even have a feeling of abandonment or loss or a feeling that you didn't do enough, but I'm here to assure you, seeing these cards together, that you did something very sacred and holy and liberating for someone you love in the last year. God bless you on that. And the final card that I'm getting for you is the Swan. The Swan didn't feel that beautiful. We know the story of the ugly duckling, but the Swan is now, it's a bird of the air and of the water, the swan. So it's a bird of emotional healing. You have emotional healing going on, and you have healing in your thoughts. So I was asking at the beginning of this where you needed to show more courage. I am hearing from my guides that you did show the courage. You showed enormous courage, and you showed enormous generosity of spirit in the last year. So now you need to put that care, that self-care back onto yourself. And if you look at the swan, how gracefully it glides through life. So the choice that you're going to make now is that life can be easier for me. I can have a more gentle, softer experience of life now. Thank you so much, pile number 2, for visiting this reading and for listening and participating. And if there is another card that you are interested in, you might want to go back and look at pile number 1, or you may have been drawn to pile number 3. But for now, that is the end of this reading, and I thank you so much. God bless you. We're now going to move on to pile number 3. So I want to say welcome to you, pile number 3. This is your card that you chose and your crystal. And I'm going to draw out your whole spread, lay out the entire spread, and as is the case in a reading, the cards will start to speak. They'll start to have a messenger voice through their participation with each other. They will have, so I'm going to draw now 2 Osho cards. Each reading I'm drawing the same cards out, but they're different cards, obviously, but same decks and the same structure. So if you find that you are also drawn to another card, you might want to watch that card's response also. So I am now drawing 2 cards on where it is in your life more courage would be helpful. This is pile number 3. Those are the Osho cards. I'm now moving to the Goddess Guidance cards. They're very feminine cards. These are quite strong, evocative, slightly more masculine cards. We'll draw 3 of these. And when we've done all the cards, then we will do our reading. Now we're going to draw 2 tarot cards. These are oracle cards. These are tarot cards. This is an oracle card. So we go from the oracle to tarot, to the oracle, back to tarot, and they'll all, you'll see, they will all combine together and have a message for you. My goodness, I got the same 2 cards I got for pile number 1 in this position with these cards. That's extremely rare because I have 84 cards in here. And then we will choose our beloved animal totem as the final card for your reading. Usually the final card relates back to the very first card. We got the lizard. How wonderful. This is a very interesting reading. So I'm going to come around behind and speak to you about this reading. The card that we chose as your oracle card for the question is Passion of the Wild Red Mother. This is a very passionate, creative card. This is all about creation. All about releasing, because what I'm sensing from this, because this really is the color of courage, when you think about it, the heart, the blood in the heart, you know, the gold of the heart, gold and red of the heart center. This card is saying to me, you've got all this pent up creative ability sitting within you, and you need to release it. You need to let it out. I would suggest that you start something new, creative, or something you did in the past, and you say, I'm going to do this. Because in the present, you have been suppressed by your own thoughts. You see, he's bound by all these coils, these vipers around him. It's like these are our thoughts. Our thoughts are our beliefs that are holding us back when I get this suppression card. So this has created a buildup in the body of tremendous creative energy, not knowing where to go. You might have even lost your temper with people or been agitated or felt an inner angst, anxiety, because you have not been giving full expression to either your body, your mind, or your spirit, or your creative centers. So how to do that? It says, turn inward, and listen to yourself. You will get the answer. There will be beings around you that want to work with you. Look at all these beings around you that want to speak to you and tell you, let's get those gifts out there. Let's use our gift. Have courage and confidence in yourself. So the card that follows that is practice makes perfect. So you may not have that confidence that you can do this. Say you wanted to play the piano and never played the piano, but you just have this passionate desire to play the piano, or you wanted to jump into learning how to ride a horse, or you wanted to have a wild love affair with someone you've cared about for a long time and you've been holding back, or something of the passion of your soul. We're meant to be here not just to be peaceful, but to be alive and passionate in our life, and right up to our last breath. So this is saying, if you do this, if you make this decision, look at her hair color, that red and that orange on her, similar to the first card. If you do that, practice will make perfect. And it says, don't compromise. Do not compromise and say, well, I'll just do it a little bit. I will let it out just a little bit. I'll put an hour a week. No, this is calling for full-on participation. This is a powerful card. And the don't compromise. And what will be the result of that? You will heal something so deep in your soul. You will feel like you were given a gift from God. Here's beautiful Padre Pio, one of my favorite saints to whom I pray. And he's saying, look what the chalice of life force that God is giving me. Look at, he's holding up the chalice, but it also could be he's receiving the divine gift from God. Because this divine gift is lying within your soul. And your heart is wanting this. So you have to turn inward to find out from the heart what it is you want. The outcome? Incredible emotional fulfillment. This is a wish, a secret wish you've had buried within you your whole life. I don't care whether you're 6 or 60. This has been in there. I became an artist at the age of 60. It's never too late. And I never thought I could do artistic work. I loved art, but I never thought I was very good at it. It's now a passion for me. I do it 2 to 3 hours every day for the last 20 years. It says you're going to have so much emotional fulfillment. It'll be like the saying, my cup runneth over. That's the feeling you're going to have from having the courage to go to the throwing the thoughts away, those nasty little thoughts that you won't do that, you can't do that, you're not creative, you're not artistic, you can't sing, whatever it is, right? You're not a good lover, whatever it is in your soul that's bothering you, you can do it. And the outcome is the lizard is the most fabulous card. What does the lizard do? It sheds its skin of the old which is relating back here to that very first passionate card. And it's got a whole new lizard emerges, and it leaves that old dead skin of suppression. Look at the lizard skins in here. It leaves them all behind. And wow, pile number 3, you are going to have a phenomenal year ahead of you if you are willing to take that chance. Thank you.